Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be reviewing the newly released Akko 3098B in a Prunus Lannesiana colorway. For transparency, Akko did send this keyboard out, but that will not affect the review in any way, and I'll be taking a look at their Demon switches in an upcoming video alongside their Wave 2 CS switches. This keyboard comes in at a price of $100 and comes in two other colorways with a $6 upcharge if you aren't feeling this colorway. Inside the box is a layer of foam that looks like it'd be pretty good for sound dampening, a dust cover, and the keyboard wrapped in foam. And looking further into the box is a 2.4 GHz dongle, a manual, some extra keycaps to give more color to the keyboard, a USB Type-C cable, and a keycap puller. The 3098B comes in three different colorways right now, but the one that I got comes with these pink and white keycaps in the ASA profile and a white case, but I'll get into the keycaps later on. The weight on this keyboard is 1.1 kg and it measures 38 by 31 centimeters and is pretty compact, with the difference of only one row of keys when compared to a standard TKL. This keyboard comes in an exploded 96% layout, which means it has a numpad on the side and some spacing in between each of the sections. It has three single unit keys on the right, a single unit 0 on the numpad, and a 1.75U right shift, which might have some issues if you want to replace them. This keyboard features per key RGB, but there isn't any software to choose from, you just get the preset modes. This keyboard comes in the three latest Akko CS switches, being the Lavender Purple, Radiant Red, and Vintage White, which I got. I asked for a linear switch, and these are, but I really wish I asked for the tactile lavender purples instead. I prefer them over the whites. Luckily that isn't an issue here, as the 3098B is hot swappable with 5-pin support, but the PCB is north facing, which enthusiasts tend to avoid. They are TTC hot swap sockets, which I've never seen before, but they are rated for 2000 cycles of switching, which seems like way more than enough for the average person. Something that Akko didn't include is a switch puller, which would make sense given that this is a hot swap socket, so keep that in mind. So, the keycaps. These are Akko's PVT double shot keycaps in ASA profile, 1.6mm with a rough texture, and dots on the F and J keys, as well as a more pronounced groove, like in traditional SA keycap sets. When the RGB is on, the keycaps only show the warm colors and they go through the keycaps, which means that there is some light bleed present. This is true for all of the keycap colors, but especially present on the white alphas, which have an almost pink backlit effect as a result of the double shot process. There are alignment issues with my F8 being completely off center and some of the keys being higher or lower than others. I feel like the longer I look at these keycaps, the more I can point out. This keyboard features noise reduction foam in between the plate and PCB, as well as a silicone pad in the case, which is used in order to try to reduce pinging and other sounds in the keyboard that are unwanted. I'm honestly impressed with the fact that Akko is able to present all of this for only $100. The stabilizers are a huge upgrade to the 3061S. They're purple, which I assume is matched lavender purple switches, and plate mount, but they come heavily factory lubed and are very well tuned, apart from the spacebar and the enter key, which still has some ticking. This isn't really a problem for me though, because this keyboard is hot swap. I can just remove the stabilizers and either replace them or mod them even further. Here's how they sound stock, and I'll have a full sound test of the keyboard at the end of the video if you're interested. The big selling point with this keyboard is the connectivity. The 3098B can connect with Bluetooth 5.0, 2.4 GHz with the included dongle, or wired if you're feeling a little more vanilla. Connecting the keyboard with both Bluetooth and 2.4 GHz is really easy. You have three different profiles for Bluetooth, and plugging the dongle in beforehand made for an instant connection after pressing function and Y. I found no issues with delay, but if you plan to use the keyboard for gaming, I'd recommend going with either the 2.4 GHz or just sticking to wired. The battery life is 3000 mAh, which seems pretty reasonable. I've been using this keyboard for about a week in both Bluetooth and 2.4 GHz, and it hasn't died yet, so I think that 3000 mAh is enough for daily use, but I do recommend turning RGB off to drastically improve the battery life. I personally will be using this keyboard in either wired or 2.4 GHz because I prefer it over Bluetooth if I ever need to use this keyboard wirelessly. For $100, this keyboard seems like a really good deal. You get a keyboard that will give you all the functionality that you want. Though I'm not the intended customer, I can definitely see the appeal. You get 3 different ways to connect this keyboard, and you get a case with good sound dampening and a silicone pad and the plate foam. I honestly don't see a reason to skip this keyboard if the layout is for you. As stated before, I'll be looking at the demon switches in the next video, and if you don't want to miss out on when that video is released, you should probably subscribe and like this video too while you're at it. I'll have links to everything in the description below if you're interested in picking this keyboard up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.